I used to believe that lie that everybody says. You know this one. Just work hard and you'll be successful. So I worked hard and longer hours, and guess what I realized? Hard work don't pay. I mean, just look around at all the hard workers of the world. They don't make much and they're working hard all the time. And once I realized that, I made over 7 figures online in my business with just one digital product doing a little over 900K. And I only work 2 to 3 hours a day, if that. And in this video, I'm gonna show you how you can make more money while working less. Look, you have to remove your time from the amount of income that you make if you ever want to be successful. And it's only going to take me about 5 minutes to break down these 5 things that you need to do to make more while working less. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then you'll probably just end up being one of those people that just complain all the time about being overworked and underpaid. But look, first of all, the first thing that you need to do is that you need to put yourself in the right rooms. Man, I was underpaid for so long. Not because I lacked the skill set, but because I wasn't putting myself in the right rooms that valued that skill set. Look, you need to find the right rooms and find the right market that values your skills. So I'll give you a real life example. I have a good friend of mine. He used to work for a railroad company, right? And he asked his job for a raise. Guess what they said? No. So he ended up quitting his job and he started to consult railroad companies, and he basically just came for a consulting fee to teach the employees of railroad companies how to do what he did at his old job. Guess what ended up happening? His old job that he asked for a raise, they ended up paying him to come and consult their employees to do what they used to pay him to do for the job. And they actually ended up paying him more in consulting fees than they would have done if they simply just would have given him a raise. So he actually ended up working less amount of hours and made more money by just utilizing his skill sets. But in certain rooms, those skill sets, they were not valued by his employer. But as soon as he left that company, they understood how valuable his skill set was. And they ended up hiring him for a handful of hours at an over 5-figure price just to consult for stuff that he already did. He took his skill set and he went to the right rooms. He went and he found the market that actually valued those skills that he had. He didn't clock in and work more hours and work overtime for the company to make more money. He utilized his mind and made more money while working less hours. So you need to understand the value that you hold and get in those right rooms. I'll give you another example. A bottle of some nasty Dasani water. I can go and get a bottle from the corner store or from the grocery store for probably $1 or less than $1, right? But if I go to the movies, that same nasty bottle of Dasani that sounds like a pop when you open up, like why does my bottle of water sound like a Sprite? But that same bottle of water, when I go to the movies, it costs $5. Why? Because I value it more at the movies, because I need to have something to wash down all the saltiness and butteriness of my popcorn that I have at the movies, right? It's $1 at this store, it's $5 in the movies. But then I'm a sports fan. I go to NBA games quite often. I go to an NBA game, that same bottle of Dasani is $8. Same bottle, different rooms, more value, higher prices, more money. My last 9-to-5 job, I had to use my skills and sit all day and sell somebody else's product for a little bit of money, no matter how much of their products that I sold. My last 9-to-5 job, I worked at a bank. The one before that, I worked at a rental car company. No matter how many of their stuff that I sold, no matter how much money that I made the company, I made the same amount of money. So I fired my job, created my own system, sell my own products, use my same skills that I was using at my 9-to-5 job, and I make way more money working less because I have a system, which is the second thing that you need to do. You need to create a system for yourself. And system is an acronym. System stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. Let me grab my whiteboard. So like I said, system, saving yourself time, energy, and money. You need to create a system for yourself so you can actually make more while working less, because this system is going to be working for you 24/7, 365. So the system that I created for myself, I started to create these flywheels, right? And I learned about this concept of flywheels from Jeff Bezos. If you're not familiar with who Jeff Bezos is, Jeff Bezos, he created Amazon, right? And he runs Amazon off of a flywheel. So this is what a flywheel is. It's a wheel, but initially it may be moving a little slow. But the more and more and more that it moves with its own momentum, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it actually starts to work on its own just off of the energy that you put into it initially. And with the momentum, it starts to work on its own, and it starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger and compound over time also. So I created a system for myself that consists of 2 flywheels. Now, my 2 flywheels are this. First of all, everything starts with my avatar. If you're not familiar with who an avatar is or what an avatar is, your avatar is going to be your customer profile. This is a singular individual that you are going to be assisting. This is a single individual that you are going to be helping. This is a single individual that you will come up with a solution to their problem. A lot of people mess up in business because they're thinking of a target demographic or a niche. I'm not saying that you don't need to have a target demographic. I'm not saying that you need to have a niche, but you need to go a step deeper and you need to have a highly detailed avatar profile within the actual niche. That's how you actually get traction on you, and that's how you actually get eyeballs on your business. But I make content only for my avatar profile. That's how you're able to be seen online. That's how you become discoverable. It's not about you going out and finding people. It's about you making yourself more findable to the people that are already looking for what you have to offer. So then, these algorithms, they start to categorize our content. That's how we actually start to be seen, because we become findable. You know, all those people always complain about social media or complain about YouTube. Oh, algorithm, oh, I can't get any views, or I can't get any subscribers, I can't get any followers. Well, this is the reason why they can't, because they're not making content for a specific person. So these algorithms are confused and they don't know who to place your content in front of. So you need to focus on becoming more findable. So then, these algorithms use their organic traffic sources to put you in front of more people that fit your avatar's profile. So over time, this is how we get this initial flywheel effect right here. But I said I have 2 flywheels that I use that coincide with each other. So this flywheel leads into this one, where it drives people into my sales funnel. So then from the sales funnel, this is where I actually get the money or get the sale, because my funnel actually sells for me. I don't have to do the selling. So then once somebody goes into my funnel and I get the actual sale, guess what happens? They get the transformation. And here's the thing, because I sell digital products, so the only reason that anybody would buy any of my products is not for the information that I have, but for the transformation that they're going to receive. And if you just take a second to think about this, anything that you purchase, you only purchase it because it solves a problem in your life. Therefore, you get that transformation. So you don't want to be in the information game. You want to be in the transformation game, because people only buy solutions. So when you obsess on coming up with solutions to other people's problems, they're going to purchase that, because that is the only reason that anybody buys anything. But guess what happens when people get a transformation, or they get a result, or they get that solution that they actually paid for? They become evangelists. Now, I know evangelist, it may sound like a religious term, but when you hear me say evangelist, just think of an ambassador, right? And even if I'm using religious scripture as an example, what is an evangelist? An evangelist is simply just somebody who received the transformation, and they go around and they spread the word, right? So an evangelist is basically just an ambassador. And then you start to get that word of mouth marketing also, which leads to more people getting into your ecosystem. So these two just work together. And then, like I said, you get this flywheel effect that gets bigger and bigger and bigger and compounds over time. So in anything that you do, you need to figure out a way to where you can systematize it. And remember, system, SYSTEM, saving yourself time, energy, and money, so you don't have to do so much work. You can create a system for yourself, and that system can be doing the work for you 24/7, 365, so you can get your time back and actually make more income by working less, because you took the initial time up front to create a system for yourself that's going to work for you forever. And systems don't get tired. Systems don't need rest. Systems work non-stop, 24/7, 365. You cannot work non-stop 24/7, 365, but a system can. Which leads to number 3. And this is a big one. If you can get number 3 down, you'll be able to make so much money. And there's a simple principle called the 80-20 rule, or the Pareto principle. And what the 80-20 rule states is that you get 80% of the results from 20% of your efforts. Now, where most people are messing up is that they are focused on the 80% of things that are not going to bring them any results. And once you realize the 80-20 rule, you realize that it is basically like a universal law. It is a law of life. So even if you just look in your closet, you probably only wear 20% of your clothes every day. In the corporate world, in the 9-to-5 workplace, it's only like 20% of the workforce that brings in 80% of the revenue. My YouTube channel, for example, only 20% of my videos bring in all of the subscribers or most of the money. So when you're thinking of ways that you can create more income for yourself while working less, you have to really assess everything and really think, what are the 20% of things that are going to bring in the 80%, the bulk of the results for me, and only focus in on that 20%. So what most people are doing is this: say that they want to be an entrepreneur, say that they want to have a business. They're focused on 80% of stuff that doesn't matter. Oh, what's my business name gonna be? Oh, what's the name of my LLC gonna be? What are the colors of my brand going to be? I want to start a YouTube channel. I need a YouTube banner. Oh, I want to write an ebook. What is the title of my ebook? Here's the thing. Names never make the product hot. The product makes the name hot. Nobody would have known what Amazon was. Amazon is not the coolest name, is it? But Jeff Bezos made a good business, therefore the name of Amazon took off. Sam Walton back in the day, if you're not familiar with Sam Walton, he created Walmart. When Sam Walton was alive, he was the richest person on the planet by far. I mean, he was so much richer than everybody that when he died, his wife and children then became the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th richest people on the planet. And that's when Bill Gates took over as like the richest guy on the planet when Sam Walton died, right? But Walmart, he could have named Walmart anything. He could have named Walmart the cheapo store, right? But the name Walmart stuck because he created a good business. Steve Jobs, right? He built Apple up. Steve Jobs, when he took over Apple, he implemented the 80-20 rule. He looked at everything that Apple was doing. He looked at what was bringing in majority of the income, and he only focused on that. He only focused on optimizing that. For the longest, Apple only focused on the iPhone, the iPad, and the Mac. That was it. He cut everything else. He focused on the 20% that's going to bring in the 80%. So if I use myself as an example, all that I focus on is my 20% of my system that I know that I can optimize and continue to perfect over time, to where that's constantly going to be working for me instead of me working for the system. And I really, 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 really need you to understand, you don't have to focus on much, because everybody's out here just wasting their time looking up what morning routine do I need to do? What sleep schedule do I need to have? People out here taking cold baths and taking all kinds of crazy supplements. And I know one guy that gets IVs and stuff thinking that that's helping him grow a business. And then they're looking at what platforms to use and what's the hot thing on social media right now? What's the fad thing to invest in? I'm like, man, just focus on the few things that are actually gonna move the needle for you, because majority of that stuff is just crap and it's just a time waster. Somebody came to me about 2 weeks ago and was telling me all their business ideas. I was like, all right, what are you doing to actually build the business? And it was like, oh, well, I'm still working on getting my LLC documents. I'm like, bro, you can get that done in like 10 minutes. Just file with the Secretary of State, or just go on LegalZoom or something real quick and just pay the fee to get it done instantly. Because all that you need to do business, you need your articles of incorporation, you need your EIN, you need a bank account, and you need a payment processor. Then go out and ask people for money. You don't need much to get started in business, but people just wasting their time getting started when you just need to get started. Number 4, you need to create assets. Money follows assets, and a lot of people have this whole asset and liability thing completely backwards too. An asset is only something that pays you. Liabilities take money out of your pocket. So a lot of people think that like owning a house or something is an asset. Well, if that house takes money out of your pocket each month, it's a liability. It is not an asset. But there's a key word that I said. I said that you need to create assets. because we live in the best age as ever in the entire history of human existence, because we can literally create assets for ourselves out of thin air, because you need to create digital assets. Now, I like to call these digital assets, you can call them a digital product, whatever it is. You can create something of value for the marketplace out of thin air that is going to pay you each and every single month. It doesn't take anything for you to create a digital asset or a digital product. And when you create digital assets for yourself, just like when you create a system for yourself that can drive traffic to your digital assets, you only have to do the work once and you can get paid forever. So if I use somebody that has a tangible, physical asset as an example, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? He wrote that book one time. Robert Kiyosaki has built an entire business around that one physical asset that he created for himself. Napoleon Hill, I don't know who has all the rights to his stuff, right? But he wrote Think and Grow Rich once. They've created a whole entire business around that one asset that he created for himself. So I have an ebook that I literally wrote about 4 or 5 years ago. I don't even publicly talk about it anymore. I don't drive any traffic to it. I created that thing once. It doesn't make me the most money right now because I'm not actively driving traffic to it, but it still makes me a few $100 a month by me not doing anything. And it's been doing that for like the past 3 or 4 years straight because I haven't publicly talked about that thing at all. I just created it and I don't even know how people be out there finding it, but it makes me a few $100 a month. What I'm doing right now in this video that you're watching, I'm actively creating a digital asset for myself because my YouTube channel, and I have a small YouTube channel right now, my small YouTube channel pays me more than about 4 to 5 rental properties. I don't know if you're familiar with real estate or anything, and a lot of people, they think that people in real estate are so rich and whatnot, but a single family house, one door real estate, if it pays you like $400 to $500 a month, people in the real estate world would think that you're killing it. But they don't talk about how when the AC goes out, that's your whole year's profit because you was only making $400 a month anyways off of that house. My small YouTube channel, I don't have the biggest YouTube channel yet, but it pays me more per month than about 4 to 5 rental properties. It is a digital asset, my YouTube channel. Guess what? I create the videos one time and they get viewed every single day. And those views make dollars every single day. So every single time that I create a video, a digital asset, and I put it on the internet, I just look at every single one of those as it's just a little piece of digital real estate. I look at every single digital product that I create as if it is just a piece of digital real estate. And I can have monthly cash flow off of that without having to be a landlord and deal with tenants and pay property taxes and insurance and all that stuff. So start to think to yourself, what is a skill that you can package in a vehicle of a digital product to where you can present a solution to somebody else? Because if you just think about what is a vehicle, what is your actual car? Your car is simply just something that takes you to where you are right now to where you want to be, to your current destination, to your desired destination. And that's all that we have to do as entrepreneurs is just come up with a solution to a problem, package that up in a vehicle of a digital product so somebody can get to where they are right now, the current situation, to where they want to be, their desired situation, which is simply just a solution. So start to ask yourself, what comes easy to me that comes harder to others? What do people come and ask me for help, guidance, and tutelage about? It can literally be anything. I've helped somebody else build a 6-figure business helping people breathe. It can be something, and everybody has something within them that they should be monetizing. And if you can answer yes to both of these questions, you should be monetizing your gifts. Has anybody ever asked me how to do anything? I don't care what it is. I guarantee the answer is yes to that. And secondly, have I seen anybody else being paid for the same exact thing that people ask me how to do? I guarantee you have. You have a highly profitable business within you right now. And number 5, you need to focus on creating value. Look, it's not the hardest worker that wins, it's the person that presents the most value that wins. Because money is simply just a symbol that value has been exchanged. Every single thing that you spend $1 on, you spend it on something to where you perceive the value of it, it's worth more than the $1 that you're spending on it. If you didn't think that what you were buying was worth more than your $1, you wouldn't spend it. You would just go and buy something else. And then when you receive that value, you exchange your money as a symbol that you have received that value has been exchanged. So if you just obsess on creating value and obsess on coming up with solutions to other people's problems, you get numbers coming in online your business like all them that you see on the screen right now. So if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description. Join the It's Crowded at the top community. For weekly coaching from myself, all my exclusive trainings, plus a private community of entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only $47 a month to join right now. That's less than a cup of coffee per day. So click the link down in the description to tap in, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. But I'm telling you, it is so simple to actually make more money while working less if you just know to focus on these 5 simple things. It's not that complicated. And here's the thing about all the complicated stuff that everybody talks about too. A lot of people, they're just saying that stuff to sound smart, because the simple stuff scales, the fancy stuff fails. It's always easier to grow something that is very, very simple. It's always easy to add on. It's always easier to grow. It's always easier to scale. And that simplicity compounds over time, and it starts to work on itself. The snowball just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger the further down the hill that it rolls. But remember, hard work don't pay. Don't believe the hype, and start to think about simple things that you can do to actually make more by working less, by implementing a system for yourself. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. Go ahead and check out this video right here for 3 tiny digital products that I guarantee you'll make at least 6 figures with if you work it. It's crowded at the top.